Welcome, everyone. This is Pineleaf Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Terry Edwin.
Hi.
Marianne.
Hey, everybody.
Maven.
Hey, y'all.
And Sanswinda.
Hello.
And this week things were a little bit quiet over at Standing Stone Games. But we do have a new issue of the Beacon as usual. So,
Yay, Beacon.
And the item in here that isn't about something that's currently happening or already happened is a little note about LOTRO Shots, which is an archive of player-taken screenshots that showcases the beauty of Middle-earth. And there is a link in the Beacon to LOTRO Shots. And essentially, it's a repository where one could keep screenshots as being done by various different players.
Cool.
And of course, we have our weekly comment. And the question is, what vocation did you choose and why?
Explorer for the title. Oh, wait.
For the title.
That's actually the first vocation for all of my new alts now that I learned that you can change your vocation afterward and keep the title.
Right. But therefore, you always go and try to get the Explorer first so you can get that easily lost title.
Yeah, I find I need a lot of times to explain why I'm in some random direction going into a dead end.
All right. Maven, what's your favorite vocation?
That's a toughie. Well, I do explore mainly, not for the title, but for the money. I think, isn't it the only vocation that you have two mat collecting? The two mat collecting?
Technically, historian you have to.
Because of the
technically farmers are gathering.
Right.
And so woodworker also, because farmer gathering.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, I'm thinking of, not having to work for it.
Yes, the wilderness collection quest.
Yeah.
Yes, wilderness collection.
So most of my newer alts are explorers for that reason. One is they can, they can supply other alts if needed. And the other is I can sell the mats on the auction house if needed. So, that's the main reason. But I do have kind of one of each at this point. Not all gilded, but trying to get there.
All right. Ariandis.
I do not do a lot of crafting, so I can't really answer.
A woman after Terry's own heart.
So yeah, I'm not the best person to ask.
All right. And I presume, Terry, your answer is what's crafting?
I know what crafting is. It's that thing I don't do. Except when she makes really good hope tokens.
All right. And mine would be yeoman. Yes. Mine would be yeoman, and that's for the food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, the one craft that I actually enjoy is farming and cooking because I don't have to go out in the wilderness to find all of the stuff that I need. I can just make it myself and go from there. It's the craft that I probably have leveled up the highest. But my main Terry Adwin is a weaponsmith because way back at the beginning, I actually wanted to be able to make my own weapons. Obviously, that didn't happen because she's not a gilded weaponsmith. She actually hasn't even done the last 2 tiers of crafting, but yeah.
So basically, we craft for the title, the weapons, the food, and
the money.
The money.
I've always been inclined to, if you're going to do crafting, pick one that you're going to actually use.
Right.
Or one you can make money with, I suppose.
Yeah. They each have their own little things that they want to do with them.
Yeah, that was just summing up.
Then let's head into the fan site news, where the biggest item of the week is that the Tolkien Professor celebrates 1 year of exploring Middle Earth.
And we haven't even made it to Bree yet. We just got out of the Barrows.
Yeah,
The last
just the Barrows.
Honestly, I mean, it's great that everybody loves doing this, and he loves doing it. I mean, this is like a dream come true for Corey, because he can just, literally parse practically every sentence as he goes. I mean, it's just great, and everybody, and people love it. I mean, we always have a good group, no matter what server we're on, and it is really fun, and the field trips are always fun.
Yeah.
But boy.
Yeah. There's a point where I was going on them myself, but I just decided midnight was a little bit too late to be.
I know. He came down to visit me this last week, and over at the dinner table, I said to him, "You are just horrible about keeping a timetable." I said, because I'm with you. I mean, I'm supposed to be there like through the field trip, and I can't stay up. I told him, you never start the field trip on time. He goes, well, what time is it supposed to start?
Well,
oh my goodness.
Class starts 15 minutes late, so.
Yeah, right. And thankfully, Monica, one of the girls of Middle Earth, has, stepped in, and she basically, bless her heart, I really, I said to her, it was about 2 months ago, and I had a lot of work, and I was like, I had a lot of deadlines and stuff, and it's like, oh, can you step in for me? Because, I need to kind of get to bed early because I've just got all this stuff. And she just has taken to it like a duck to water. So she shows up every time, and it's great. And I actually said to him, I go, I'm not to the point where I don't know if I could say anything, should open my mic. If he's like, oh, sure, open your mic up during the field trip. 3 of us is fine. So be warned, those of you that go to the class. I will be putting in my 2 cents. Anyway, yeah, so it's great. It's been a year. I can't believe it. And anybody who hasn't been to the class, and not even the class, if you haven't seen the lore hall that they built for the Sounding Stone Games built for the class, you should definitely go visit it. It's across from the Cat Lady's house in Bree, up the, Scholar Stairs, I think, or the stairs?
Yeah.
Scholar Stairs. You should go visit, because, I mean, every time I go in and look, I mean, they put so much stuff in that lore hall. It's awesome. I always, I go walking around there and look all the time. But even if you don't go to class, stop by the lore hall, because it's really awesome.
It is a lot of lore hall, and it's awesome that you can catch up with the class later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and
YouTube,
that's right.
Podcast,
Any of our listeners who go, what are you talking about? It's called Exploring Lord of the Rings, and you can actually, Corey goes in game and gives it does lectures on Lord of the Rings, the book, and also live tweets it, and live Twitter stream, and also Twitch stream. Although it's funny because it's like he uses PowerPoint slides, so you can't see him in the game, and invariably he ends up going AFK because he's been standing up there for so long. Anyway, if you haven't done it or don't know anything about it or have lost track of it or whatever, it is up on the Signum University YouTube channel, so you can catch up with the and like I said, it was funny because I said to him the other day, I go, oh my God, we're almost to Bree. I'm going to have to start reading the book again. And who knows how long we'll end up being in Bree. I mean, if he does it like Grifflet, remember the Grifflet one where he looked at all the walls in Bree?
Oh gosh.
Wasn't that the one his son commented on?
Yeah. His son started listening to it, and then he stopped listening to it, and he asked his son why. He goes, you were talking about walls. It was boring.
But he's drawn my attention to so many cool architectural features in the game.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
You mean the artichoke gazebos?
Yeah, artichoke gazebos. Well, it's kind of like sensitized me to it, except I fell flat in the lore hall and the halls of lore in Minas Tirith. Terry had to point out the dragon and the other stuff to me. But yeah, it's kind of like I do
it in other games now. It's terrible.
Do you really? That's so
I really do.
That's so funny. Another plug, just a quick plug. I mean, it's not on the Exploring the Lord of the Rings, but I know we've got a slow news night tonight. I had forgotten about this, but anybody who's interested, if you're familiar with the music group Blind Guardian, they've done a lot of music that is related to, I think, the Silmarillion. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's mainly Silmarillion stuff. Anyway, at his son, it was his son's idea to do this. His youngest son, Matthias, Corey's youngest son. He and Corey, Matthias and Corey, do it's not on a schedule, but it's just on a random basis. They actually do this podcast, or it's a stream, and so it's up on Signum University as well on the YouTube, where they go through like a Blind Guardian song, and they'll play like the first part of it, and then they'll stop it and talk about it. And he said Matthias is just like nailing stuff. It's really amazing. So that could be interesting for anybody who's kind of a lore hound and likes the Silmarillion, and if you know about Blind Guardian, it could be fun. It's just amazing to watch Corey's and also Corey's son is a major camera ham. I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, it's really exciting. We should have I should have tried something really major out for the first year anniversary, but oh well. Of exploring Lord of the Rings. I'll think of something. We'll do a toast.
Yeah.
There you go.
For those who are listening live, winter stock is still on for 2 days. This is the second day of winter stock, so there are 2 more days left the winter stock before it comes to a close.
Yeah, and if you can't attend in game, you can watch it online because LOTRO Stream, the official LOTRO channel, is streaming the whole thing.
The whole thing, yes.
Whole thing.
What server is it on?
It's on Landreval.
Gotcha.
Over in Arid Luine at Thorn's Gate. As for our screenshot of the week, a Fibro Jedi posted this breathtaking screenshot last week on Twitter, and it's in a grass.
It's Fibro Jedi.
Fibro.
Yes.
Okay. Fibro Jedi, and it's on a grassland with the sun.
Yeah, that was a really cool shot.
Coming up.
Yeah, even with the solar flare and everything too.
Mm-hmm. He gets some really awesome shots, though.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
of course,
another person that I watch on Twitch.
And he made sure he had a horse that matched the background.
Yep.
Well, of course.
Then let's head into our store sales. And do they match any of the screenshots?
Sort of, kind of, I guess. We've got this week's free sample is a Slayer and Skill Deed Boost ×1 with coupon code SKILLSLAY. Also, 20% off quest packs, max morale and power scrolls, 100% XP boost, and mithril coins. Woot! Those don't go on sale very often, so grab them now, guys.
Yay, mithril coin sale. Woo! Get your alts through Epic Volume 1. Or do something else you want to do.
And buy crystals for your LIs for imbuement.
Oh, yeah, because we had that chat last week.
That's right. That's right.
It's cheaper with mithril than buying it straight from the store.
Yep.
That's right.
Especially when mithril is on sale. Yep.
Then
that's right.
Yeah. Then let's head into our new player quest. And Ariandis, what's your question this week?
This week, speaking of the store sales, I have a question about the store. I was trying to send someone something through the store, and I realized that since everything is bound to account, you can't really do that. Is there a way that you can still send people stuff if you purchase it from the store, or is it just one of those your friend or whoever you're sending it to would have to buy it for themselves?
So the answer to this question used to be, no, you can't send anything to people if you buy it from the store. However, a while back, a couple of years ago back, they changed it to, even though it still says bound to account, if it's been purchased from the store and is bound to account, in most cases, it just costs you some mithril coins to send it through the mail.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Another good reason to buy mithril this week.
Another good reason to buy mithril. Yeah, and really not an outrageous amount of mithril. It's like 1 to 5 mithril, I think, to send an item to somebody.
Oh, well, that's not bad. And are there any limitations on what you can send in the mail if you purchase it from the store? Is it like you can only do cosmetics and boosts? Like you can't do mounts? How does it work?
Well, it has to be something that is actually in your inventory. So if it's like an unlock sort of thing, which automatically gets used, that's not something you would be able to send.
Okay.
So things like the riding skill, I think, wouldn't be available to send because I think when you purchase it, it automatically gets applied to your character. It's not
Gotcha.
an item that hangs around in your inventory.
But Warsteed dies would be sendable,
Okay.
right? Yes,
No, because that's
no, they
also-
wouldn't. That's right,
No,
because
because
it's in
that's
the
also
panel.
an unlock. It's not actually
That's
in
right.
your
That's
physical
right.
inventory. It's something that it has to be something that's in your physical inventory.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yes, and of course, if it's something that you have unlocked writing already, then you won't be able to
Then you don't
purchase it
even
in the
have the
first
option to
place.
purchase
You
it,
won't have
yeah.
the option to purchase it, right?
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
And if you want to know if something's sendable or not, and Bullroar is due to be up soon, test it on Bullroar.
There you go.
Ooh, good idea.
That's right.
You mean do your experiments on Bullroar where it won't cost you real money?
Yep. Just don't expect it on the live server, and don't spend real money on it because you don't need to.
Gotcha.
If it's on
Right.
Bullroar.
Right.
Then let's head into our week in LOTRO. And Maven, what have you been up to?
Well, my smuggler got to 63 and is on her way to Tatooine. Oh, wrong game. Oops. Oopsie. Generally speaking, actually, even counting SWTOR, it's a light week, as my weeks have become as far as gaming. But I did Aria a Bjorning. I'm planning to do an extremely casual stroll through Mordor with an Ariad Guardian. We've agreed that the whole thing is to have fun, which is a little weird when you're talking about Mordor, right?
So how much prep work are you planning on doing to the furball so that the furball's not super squishy?
Not a lot. He hasn't done a lot of prep for the Guardian. He's using like third agers that he picks up along the way. And, the thing is, the furball, you do get all the, the deed tomes when you Aria. So she's got like 64 trait points now to figure out what to do with. So probably not a lot. And I have to go through the final chapter. This is embarrassing that I'm being so like whiny about it. I have to go through the final chapter of the last epic. I just want to go straight to Mordor. Yeah, not a lot. We'll find out. I may get frustrated really fast and then say, okay, I have to go.
Decide to
You
go
should
back and
consider it
do
screenshot
virtues and
opportunity.
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. That's true.
Document the journey with screenshots. Just
That's true.
Spam
Like
the
the
screenshot
start of
button all
my
the time.
journey into Mordor.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's true. And then I did an enjoyable marathon questing run yesterday, capped by running Court of Saragos with Sanswinda and her sister, and Colton / Finn, our bud from Ploy, along with lots of talk about stats and strategy. Cinderina and I learned all kinds of very cool lore master stuff. Finn is he's tier 2 ready. Lore master has done a lot of raiding, so he's got some really good strategies and exploits, I might say. We won't talk about that. Okay. So anyway, so it was fun. Terry, how about you?
Well, first I have a question for Maven, because in the midst of learning the lore master tips, did he teach you how to better keep track of somebody's health that you're in a group with?
Actually, he let me die. We were doing Court of Saragos, tier 2, and it was 105. I was on Glordriel, and I was in 105, and I wasn't even really keeping track of my health. But I got that, the twin brother of the first two, the first bosses gave me his like bad wound thing. And so I was ticking and I didn't realize it. And right as I killed him, I died. And he's like, oh, I wasn't paying attention to your health. So I got karmic payback. So I guess
That's
he sort of taught me to do that by,
by letting it happen to you. Okay.
by letting it happen. Now I know how it feels.
Yeah. So in that vein, I finished my Gondor allegiance on Land of Alteri Edwin. I did the final chapter, story instance. It was awesome. So because I have told myself that I'm not going to have multiple allegiances, so I'm not opening them all at once. I started the elf one, but I haven't actually done the session play yet to fully open the elf one. So she's just kind of hanging out at Lothlorien, waiting for me to get up the energy to actually run that session play, which I'm sure is probably really cool because everything that I've done so far with the allegiance has been really cool. It's just elves.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Axley Shing, my dwarf champion, entered Moria, which Sans is also probably going to talk about because it was our LOTRO Thursdays. Since Terry's done with Moria, like, I'm doing air quotes that you guys can't see, but I'm done with Moria. Not Mordor. Not Moria. Mordor. I'm done with Mordor. Except for, dailies and whatever allegiance stuff I want to do. So I'm done. So I don't have to play any more of that on Thursdays. So we are taking some lower level characters into Moria. And I'm so lower leveled on Axley Shing that after getting into Moria, I can't continue the epic story yet. Because he's only level 46.
Oh gosh.
And the next quest is level 53. Oops. So we might be doing some skirmishing irresponsibly with Pine Leaf.
What?
In order,
All right.
in order to get him up to where he can actually do the Moria quest line.
Well,
And
there's but the side quest should be 51, so they should be doable.
But I don't know how many side quests we're going to have to do. Like, I don't want to have to do all the side quests up to Deep Delving and then run all the way back to Durin's Threshold. That seems really silly.
Oh.
So we have a hunter with a port all the way back.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right, because I do have the campfire set to the threshold.
Yeah, it's got his campfire set at the threshold. But I might do some crafting. Because speaking of the explorer, Axley is an explorer. Because he was originally my bingo character.
Ah.
That I gave up because in the Misties he was really squishy.
Oops.
So, yeah. And so I've also slowly been making progress on my Warden again. She's level 79 going on 80. And is slowly finishing up the Standguard bit of Epic Volume 3, so she might actually properly be in Rohan soon. Which I'm super excited for if that's actually the case. So, Sans, what were you up to this week?
Well, this week, my Minstrel Sans Winda on Arkenstone got to Galtrev with the field trip. And we're getting closer to being able to get war steeds. I think we're all like level 68 and 69 now, so just a few more levels. And
you're excited to go into you're all excited to go into mounted combat?
I am all excited to have a faster steed to ride around in Middle-earth. Mounted combat, yeah, kind of excited, but I need a few more levels on that. I just really want to be able to get places faster. It's true. And I would get war steeds at level 5 if I could, just to be able to ride around low-level areas really fast.
Can you imagine riding through Bree on a war steed?
It's
at
fun.
Breakneck speed. I don't ride through Bree on a war steed on a good day, just because I play on Landreval typically, and Bree is crowded, so that's a great way to just find yourself running into a fence for 5 minutes until the light catches up.
I was going to say, if it's not super laggy that day, it's actually really exhilarating. If it is super laggy that day and you don't realize it going into Bree and change to a sensible mount, you are likely to find yourself riding into something for 5 minutes. Or link lost. So there is a danger, but it's fun when there's not a lot of lag.
Oh, and Minas Tirith is fun to ride around on a war steed. Just ask me.
Oh gosh.
Same danger warning, but yeah, it's fun. You know,
go right off
on
the
the
end
stairs
of one
and
of the.
fell off
Yeah.
the.
I just launched myself off one of the ramps because I thought it kept going.
I almost
Yeah.
followed her off too until I realized.
But the
that
other
she
one,
just
the other
disappeared.
part that's fun about War Stadium and Tirith is galloping the prow and then
Oh yeah.
launching
yeah.
yourself into space on your horse. That's
Especially
really
when you
awesome.
survive and ride into a corner.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. She did do that.
And yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to a War Steed again. And I was kind of disappointed that we weren't doing Mirkwood on War Steeds, because that's fun, but we did it on level. Anyway, I took my long neglected dwarf champion into Moria finally with Terry's dwarf champion and Pineleaf's hunter, and that was actually pretty fun. I even got to hit things a few times because Pineleaf's running a trappy hunter. So,
So it's like the melee range hunter with a pair of dwarves, and so you have her dwarf who's the devastating blow red line, and you have me who's the Xing Xing yellow line, and between the three of us, stuff just kind of dies.
pretty much. And I mean, at first we were seeing a lot of deflect, and it's kind of sad when even lizards can parry your blows.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got better and gained a level, and even though I'm a level higher than Terry, I'm still too low level to get the next epic quest. So yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do. But yeah, it was fun, and having a hobbit along, we've discovered, is a good way to make a dwarf feel tall. So my now tall feeling dwarf had fun getting into Moria. And I introduced my sister. Not only did we run the Court of Saragast and learn some lore master tricks, I introduced my sister to the Fornost instances with Colton and Maven.
Oh, poor girl.
And we ran the first two at level 35 on our level cap characters, and kind of blazed
I
through
completely
it.
forgot that we did that.
And she comes in and she's like, "What in the world are we doing? Like, what?" And I'm like, just follow me. You're fine. Just follow me." And so we blazed through the first two to get her to the featured instance, because she'd never run a featured instance either. And so we promised her that we would go back slower sometime and let her read and peruse side quests and things. But yeah, we finished the featured instance on level with the four of us.
And didn't die. No deaths.
No deaths.
It was awesome.
And she learned
Four
a
of
few new lore master tricks as well that she got to try out again today, and it was cool. So, Rendis, how was your week?
featured instance? Is it
Fornost
Earth?
Fire?
Fire. Raise of Fire. The one with the arena.
So it's the third one, right?
Yeah. But I gotta say, I wasn't real thrilled about the swag at 115. I mean, it wasn't like exciting. You know, like you get level 115 armor, but it's non-Mordor armor in terms of
Right.
you know the stats and stuff. I mean, I don't know why would you do that?
And it
You know,
didn't
why would
appear
you
to be
wear that?
ashable either.
Yeah, it's not ashable either.
Oh,
so it
that's
was
really
you know,
disappointing.
it was really kind of odd, and you know, you'd think that the 115 featured instance would offer similar stuff to say like the 3-man, 6-man,
Right, but it's
115,
not.
you know, but it's not. So it was kind of disappointing. I'm hoping maybe they'll fix that at some point.
Yeah, after we got all done, she turned and she's like, "Now, why would anybody run a featured instance?"
Exactly. And it took you know, I mean, you know, Terry, what that's like on level. I mean, it took a while.
Right.
You know, it was a lot of work.
Yeah. Fornost is a lot of work.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
worked hard, but I got a scroll and like 40 ash from a little thing that dropped, and some Rangers journals from North of
Yeah, she got Rangers, and I got war materials from the coast of the West.
Right. And my sister got war materials and piece of armor she couldn't ash.
What?
And yeah.
Yeah, it was really disappointing.
So yeah, the loot was odd, but it was kind of cool introducing her to Fornost even at
Yeah.
a run. So
Yeah, we should do it. We should take her back through on level.
we should. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Besides which, I
and
want to see some
Glordrell-
of the side quests still.
Glordrell still hasn't completed Shadow. I've completed Shadow on other alts, but Glordrell hasn't completed Shadow. That fourth one, which is a bear.
Oh, so we should totally do that.
So we should try it sometime.
But yeah, that's my week. How was your week, Arindis?
My week was good. I helped someone I got into the game level up his guardian. He almost got to meet Sarah Oakart for the first time, but we didn't quite make it there. We'll have to do that soon. I also realized that I had somehow skipped the last part of Volume 1 before moving on to Volume 2 of the epic story. I don't know
No one
how
ever
that
does
happened.
that.
That's actually really easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember how I did that. So I went back into Angmar for just a little bit to work on Book 8 of Volume 1. And it was, in a way, kind of nice to not be in Moria, but you also trade it for Angmar, so it's one dark place for another dark place, so there's not a lot of difference. But it was good. I also bought a Mumok pet from the store. And I'm really excited about it. It's ridiculously cute. I'm still trying to figure out a name for it. Yeah, since Windows really happy. But yeah, so that was my week. Pineleaf, how was your week?
My week will begin with my Thursday group, where, as you've heard others people say, we headed into Moria. And of course, I was helping the dwarves along in order to help them in their quest to retaking Khazad-dûm, because you need a hobbit in order to get things done.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right, because all those dwarves there, they seem to be saying, hey, you do this, you do that, you do this. Deliver lunch for us, because of course, if you want lunches delivered, you call on a hobbit.
And we discovered that almost all of those quests are funny if you walk up to the dwarf, you listen to what they say, and then you add after lunch to it.
Yes.
We will replay Khazad-dûm after lunch.
Yeah. Buy Doran's beard after lunch.
Yes.
We will drive the orcs from Moria after lunch.
For lunch. Then during the field trip, we broke some bones. Unfortunately, those were the bones of the wights that were populating the bone veils.
Yeah.
So we took care of all those, and also made some spears over at Galtrev in order to... that we hope that we can use those spears eventually in order to drive those half-orcs out of Galtrev, because I think they're a bit of an annoyance there. And finally, my lore master made it into Moria, and somehow getting into Moria is a theme for this week. I guess that was something about starting a group that's going into Moria right at the same time that my lore master is going in there. Probably wasn't exactly my greatest bit of planning, but fortunately the Thursday group, I suspect, is going to try to go through Moria a little bit faster than my lore master is. So,
man, I hope so, because I can't spend all that much time in Moria. I just can't do it.
I'm expecting my lore master to take at least 6 months to get through, since that's being done on a YouTube series.
We need to get through faster, Pineleaf, even if we're irresponsible.
Even once a week, it's not going to take us 6 months.
Okay. We currently have 19 supporters on Patreon, and if you would like to join this illustrious array of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. This week we did not receive many emails, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@LOTROplayers.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter, the Player Alliance @Player Ally, LOTRO Players @LOTRO Players, Ariandis @Ariandis, Maven @Tolkien Maven, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Senswinda @Senswinda, and Terry Edwin @Terry Edwin. The Players Alliance has 2 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You have DDO Players News, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, you have LOTRO Players News. You can join us for our live shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.